Hey guys, so welcome to our podcast. So you call yourself a mom. I came up with this idea one day. I was just talking to one of my sisters and I was like, it's a lot of things that moms do that just really bug me and I gotta talk about it. So I called Jocelyn and I was like, hey girl, listen, I want to do this podcast. And Jocelyn was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's pretty much how we came up with the idea. I'm Ashley. I'm 25 years old and I have a 2-year-old son and his name is Jason.
I'm Jocelyn. I'm 26. I have 2 kids. The first one is Kyler. He's going to be 2 on May 17th. And then I have another one. Her name is Aurora, and she just turned 4 months on the 3rd.
So today we're going to talk about how we got these kids, these birth stories.
How we got
them. We ain't going to talk about the deep dirties of it, but like the birth stories of how they were born and everything like that.
Yeah.
So you want to go? Because you got the most,
I've got
girl.
2. So with Kyler, I went to Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to So at first, actually, I was at Baptist, and I loved the doctor that I was with.
Yeah.
But she became expensive. I got kicked off of my mom's insurance.
Yeah.
You know how that happens.
Yeah.
But I loved her, and I would go back to her.
Yeah.
But then I got on Medicaid, real life.
Girl, yeah, me too.
So I got on Medicaid, so I went to Jackson. And I like the doctor. He's a little annoying, but I like him. There was actually just a viral post about him.
Is it that?
Don't say his name.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I saw it though. Yeah.
I don't think that the woman that said what happened, I don't think that that's true.
Yeah.
But I will 100% say I will never tell him something that's wrong with me because he's going to brush it off.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the big thing about Medicaid though. Like my doctor did that too. Like when you're on Medicaid, they don't take you seriously.
They just need a quota.
Yeah.
Like let me make enough to make it.
Right. Yeah, legit.
But yeah, so I started going to him and I hadn't gotten an ultrasound since is it the 20th week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I hadn't gotten an ultrasound since the 20th week until I saw him at my 37th week. So at my 37th week, they were like, the ultrasound lady was like, and then she did it again, and then she did it again, and I was like, something's wrong. Yeah. And I asked her, I was like, is something wrong? She was like, no, I just got to go talk to the doctor about something. So that's true when they say that.
They lie.
Yeah, they be lying. So she came back in and she was like, well, they just want you to go to the hospital so that you can talk to somebody and they can do another ultrasound on you. And it's in the same building, basically. Right. Yeah. So I walked over there and I had to go to a room. They attached a lot of stuff to me, like it was a deeper ultrasound, I guess. Yeah. And they were monitoring the heartbeat and stuff. And apparently I didn't have enough amniotic fluid to keep him healthy.
Yeah.
So they were like, so you're having the baby tonight. And I'm like, awesome. Like, okay.
But okay,
yeah, 3 weeks early. And the funny thing is, I had just got back. This was on a Monday. I had just got back from our regional tournament in Gulf Shores on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah. We definitely weren't about to win.
Right.
But I was at the beach, walking in the sand, all that stuff. Yeah. And it was hot. So I probably did not hydrate enough. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't know much about women's bodies, so I don't really know the reason that my amniotic fluid
don't tell you
low.
that. Yeah.
But so they started trying to induce me that night. Didn't work. It was a long time. Yeah. Like that was the 15th. So they tried to induce me that night. And they were like, okay, like it's coming. So I started contracting and stuff. They had to force the contractions. Didn't work. Girl. Next day I think they pushed Pitocin. Still didn't work. They kept just trying things. I'm remembering. Yeah. They gave me, okay, so during the checks, like 2 days in, I still had not dilated at all. Yes. So they were pushing me through all that crap. Yeah. And I didn't yet. And then during one of the checks, the lady was like, so I have to wrap something around your uterus to try to force you to dilate. I screamed. I was crying. Like I was having the baby. Yeah. And my family was on the outside of the room and they came in, like, they didn't say a word. They were like teary-eyed because they heard me suffering. That was the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life. Yeah. Like it hurt so bad. Did you like the checks? I mean, not like
Girl, no.
Yeah.
So the nurse to stop touching?
No, literally. Like, I probably, if I knew that we were allowed to say no, I would have said no. Yeah, she wrapped something around it. I don't know. Somebody can comment what it is. They put that. It still did not work. So they were still pushing, and I was still having contractions. Still nothing worked. So then the next morning, the doctor came in with one of my favorite nurses. She was so good. And he was like, all right, Jocelyn, so you have two choices. Either I'm going to put a metal dilator in you and I'm going to physically dilate you.
Yeah.
Not physically break your water, physically
Right.
dilate you. And I looked it up later and it was like, you should look it up. Like, it's literally a long pole, basically. A metal pole, yeah. And the nurse was standing next to him and she was like, I had to have it done.
Mm-hmm.
Just get the C-section.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, it hurt worse than anything in my life. It hurt worse than the C-section. It hurt worse than the after.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because she had another baby and had a C-section too.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a C-section anyway. Because I didn't want to push anyway.
Yeah.
You know? But it still sucked that I had to go through all of that
Yeah.
for them to decide that. Like I said, I don't really have a firm opinion on it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like women's medicine needs to
it's different.
progress.
Yeah.
But anyway, that one went so smooth at delivery. They said, okay, 1:00 tomorrow because it's on the doctor's time whenever he feels like it. Yeah. So 1:00, I had him. It was beautiful. I felt great until, I had to stand up.
All that, all the fun stuff.
Yeah. Everything turned out well. They gave me medicine and I was absolutely out of my mind. Like, apparently Kyrie's grandma was there from Texas. Girl, I don't remember that at all. I'm like,
you was there. I ain't see you.
She was not there. I don't care who tried to tell me that lady was not there. There's a picture though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one went great and it was at Jackson and a lot of people say, oh, don't go to Jackson. It's bad. I didn't agree until now.
Yeah.
Because, so with my second one, Aurora, this was December 30th, and you can be biased. Like, you could maybe charge this to the fact that it was New Year's Eve and, like, the good nurses, I guess, were out or something. But it was the worst experience of my life. It was so bad. And this was a mature, like, she was 40 weeks because she was due on the 6th of January. Yeah. So they scheduled it for the 30th. And they scheduled it after forgetting to schedule it also, by the way.
So they did you in the game.
Yeah, like the doctor literally was like, wait, how far along are you? And I was like, dude, I'm like, I'm like 37 weeks. What do you mean? Do you not have a chart?
Right. You don't know?
Anyway. Ew. So yeah, we went in. And then everyone was like, this one's scheduled, so it'll be so easy. It's so good for you, girl. Like, first of all, when I got there, it was like a ghost town. Nobody was there at all. Nobody was being, like, going into labor or anything. It was weird.
It was like, ding, 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 something should...
Yeah, and I didn't see it as weird, but I should have seen it as weird.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, did you have a C-section?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So when you have a C-section, there's a little bit more preparation.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have to go down there. You can't eat and just all this stuff. So, like, I hadn't eaten and stuff, and I had prepared. First of all, the lady could not find my vein.
That's the worst thing ever.
So then another woman came and tried, and then another woman came and tried. And then they were like, I was like, dude, how many people?
Yeah,
and
don't worry about it.
She was like, well, we can't do more than 3, or they'll have to come and ultrasound will have to come down and then do it for us. Like, they'll have to find your vein.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then somebody else found it. So then they did that. It hurt so bad though. They had to do it in my hand. Did they do yours in your hand?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, they did.
I feel like it's normally in your hand. Oh, it's normally in your hand. They did it in my
arm.
Whatever. It was opposite.
It was opposite.
Whatever
Okay,
it was,
yeah. I was about to say they did. I had to get 2. They did one in my hand and one in my arm.
Yeah, probably the same.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but it was such a bad experience. So I went finally. Tell me why when we get there, it wasn't an OR room.
I'll be like, try again tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I'm done.
It wasn't an OR room. Like, the first time when I had Kyler, it was warm in there. It was sunshine. There were like 10 different, like, nurses and doctors in there. Yeah. Anesthesiologists. There were like 3. Then they had extra students. It was all of us crammed into this, like, little tiny room. Yeah. But it wasn't overbearing. We are in a humongous room with 3 people.
Nobody in there.
Yes. So I start, like, low-key hyperventilating. Like, obviously I know hyperventilation is obvious. Yeah. But, like, I know that I started having a panic attack. So they wheeled me in there, and then, like, the first surgery, they lifted me. You know how 2 people lift each other. You had the medical academy, right? Yeah. You know how, like, 2 people lift you onto the bed. So they didn't even lift me. They told me to get up. They told me to get up and get in the other bed. Yeah, so I had to get up and get in the other bed. And then They had to do the spinal tap. And I mean, I knew that was coming, but I was scared as heck. And I was already scared because I'm like, this is not the same as last
Yeah,
time.
it's a different vibe.
And then it's freezing in there.
Yeah.
So the girl that I was leaning on, like, you have to lean on somebody. Like, she asked somebody to bring a warm blanket. That's how cold it was in there. Yeah. So she put it, because they weren't ready for a C-section. Like, I'm pretty sure he still forgot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, and then he called me the day before to reschedule it. Like, the day before it was supposed
the one that
to
he
be
scheduled.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about it. It was a bad experience.
Yeah.
But so once I sat on the edge and stuff and was waiting on it, I literally started bawling my eyes out. And the girl was like, "It's okay, it's okay." I should have been like, "B word.
It's not okay."
Yeah.
You do this.
Right. You want to switch?
Right.
But I just had a feeling, like, I just knew, like, this is just not right.
Yeah.
So after you get your spinal tap, it's just like a great job. Lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
so
done.
I laid down and I'm like, my legs are not numb.
Oh, I see where it's going.
Yes. So I'm like, hey,
I can feel this.
the nurse, yeah, I'm like, I can still feel my legs. Oh, it's okay. You're gonna feel them first.
Oh,
it's a gradual thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm literally telling you, feel my legs. I did
Yeah.
this before.
Yeah.
So then the anesthesiologist was like, okay, so we're gonna put this stuff on your face so that you can, you're gonna feel a little bit better about your anxiety and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I feel my legs.
Right. Don't worry about this.
So I start wiggling my legs on purpose so that
Yeah.
people can see. And I'm like, look, I can wiggle my legs.
Yeah.
And then that's when the nurse, she was kind of like, okay. And I could tell that she was like, hey,
it's a problem. Yeah.
but she didn't say it to me, and she didn't verify to me that she was hearing me. Like, she didn't acknowledge.
Right.
And I like this nurse. I liked her. And I know she's doing her job. Like, she can't make me panic and stuff. Then I told the I literally kept telling people, I'm like, y'all are not gonna cut me. Yeah. So then I told the anesthesiologist, and I was like, hey, I literally feel my legs look. And I kept shaking my legs. And he was like, oh, yeah, that shit. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Y'all not
They're
listening.
Cut
Hear me. Yeah.
So then the doctor got there. And I started shaking him as hard as I could so he could see. He like, I don't know if they do a cut initially or if they do a stab. Yeah. Like, if they do a little, or if they just stab.
Yeah.
But whatever he did, I felt it and I screamed.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. So he was like, I don't know what he said, but I know what the anesthesiologist
Yeah. Like,
he said that was my biggest fear.
But I've been telling you before he did that I can feel it.
Girl, like, if they didn't put me to sleep in that moment, I probably would have. And then, like, this is all in the span of like 20 minutes. So I'm telling them for that long.
Yeah. And
for the C-section, like, the baby's dad comes in. So I'm like, can y'all please just let him in?
Yeah.
I'm freaking out. You see me, like,
yeah.
Yeah, like, please
I need
let him
somebody
in.
to comfort me.
And apparently he said that he did come in and they said, hey, you gotta go.
That's wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, I felt them stab me. I screamed or cut me, and I'm pretty sure they cut me because afterwards, like, you feel your scar for a long time, and that part hurt way worse than anything else. So I'm pretty sure that he cut a little bit harder at first. You know what I mean? Or he had to go over that again. Or he left it for a second, whatever. But then basically the anesthesiologist came over me. He was like, "Hey, we're gonna have to put you to sleep, okay?" And no. I said, just please put me to sleep. And then he said, okay, we're going to put you to sleep. Like, I didn't just ask that. Yeah. And they put it over my face, and then I was knocked out. And then I woke up so it was at 1. I woke up like at 3 something, like 3:45 or something. Some in the basement or whatever, in their little basement part. I don't know.
Girl.
Where like the ICU patients go or something. Yeah. I don't even know. Girl, tell me why my throat is killing me. My chest is hurting. My throat is hurting. It feels like I have strep. Yeah. Like, what's going on?
Y'all do?
Because they had to put a freaking breathing tube. Yeah. Oh, like, none of that registered. Yeah. So I got back up there. It was like 4:00. And by that time, the spinal tap didn't work. That's the whole point of putting me to sleep. Right. But they didn't, again, women's medicine freaking sucks. They didn't think, this is still gonna hurt her though
when she wakes up.
Yeah. So maybe I can do something. But no, they don't care. So I was hurting when I got up there, and they showed me the baby, and of course I wanted to see her, but I was, oh my God, I was hurting. Yeah. And girl, so they do the pickup thing. They drop me on the bed.
Girl.
I started crying. And then my first pictures, like I posted one of them on Instagram, but I legit was like in so much pain.
Yeah, it's like
I
I
remember
want
the
to see her, but I
pain.
really don't because I
Like
can't.
I'm holding her, but
Yeah.
I'm literally crying. And it's not the same as a regular birth where you're hurting and you see her because you pushed it out. Like this is 2 hours later.
Right. I'm just now seeing my baby.
And then they just dropped me.
Yeah.
And then my spinal tap didn't work.
Right.
And then we had to reschedule. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Y'all
then
did
the
all of
IV
this.
didn't work.
Yeah.
Basically. Oh, and then also when I was in there, you're supposed. So the first time I had gotten medicine like every 4 hours, and then it became every 6 hours. And I was there for like 4 days, and then I think I asked for an extra day, so I stayed for 5 days. And they gave me like Percocet and like ibuprofen. Girl, the nurse is gonna talk about, hey, I'm the only one here, but there's not even that many people on the labor and delivery floor anyway.
But that ain't your problem.
But I no, yes, so that's what I'm saying. Like when I work somewhere, I know it's my job to check on someone, especially if they're hurting, especially if they just had an open surgery.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, I know people are gonna get irritated, but that's just misogynistic.
Yeah.
Like a misogynistic perspective. Like it's okay. She's just, I mean, she
She'll
had
be
to go
alright.
through that
Yeah.
surgery anyway.
Everybody- yeah.
So I didn't get medicine for like 12 hours. Like she literally did not come back. Yeah. And I only stayed for 2 days.
Do you want more kids after that?
Honestly, when I was in there, when I was getting the spinal tap, I was like, I can't do this again.
Yeah.
Like, it's so scary. But I did want more kids. Just in wrapping up my story, apparently Jackson was closing.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't want that problem.
Yes.
They was like, no,
How did
we're
I
done.
not
Yeah.
know that Jackson
But you know
Hospital
what?
was closing?
That's probably why.
Why would they not tell me? Why would they not say, hey, this time is going to be a little bit different because we have a little bit less PCTs, we have a little bit less nurses in general, you know? Like,
and I feel like that's a thing that, honestly, I'm going to say it. Like, I feel like if you're on Medicaid or anything like that, like, they don't give you that same level of that they would give other people. And I'll just leave it like that because, I mean, to me, it's like they don't give you that information front hand. It's like you got to figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, you got to go through. You got to deal with all the pain, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we could have told you we're closing." Like, no, just tell me that beforehand.
Girl, they didn't even tell me. They didn't care.
Yeah,
it was a terrible experience. Like, I just can't even believe it for real. I'm glad she's healthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, after everything you go through, you're like, I'm just glad the baby's here. The baby's healthy.
Girl, let me add one more thing. Tell me why the first night she was born, she was choking so hard that she stopped breathing. She turned purple. So we're in the room. This is going to make me mad, but we're in the room, and like her dad Kyrie picked her up, and he's like, Joselyne, and I'm like, and like we're just like, she's literally purple. Yeah. Like you're not hallucinating. Yeah. So he ran down the hall to the NICU the nursery part. Yeah. And he beat it on the door and he was like, hey, like she's purple. And they grabbed her in a hurry. And they like, if you haven't seen how they handle babies, they like threw her down. Boom, boom, you know, and sucked all the stuff out. And they put her in a machine that like shakes them. I can't remember what that is. But that happened, and then this woman is talking about, you're not supposed to do that. Why did you bring her without without pushing her in her thing?
She's
lady,
purple.
we don't work here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't apply for this job and say, I will bring her down when she turns purple.
Right. I know exactly what to do.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not trained to know what to do.
I wrote a review on her. And all of a sudden, it disappeared.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next day, it happened again. And we were like, I don't care what this lady says.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure my baby's okay.
She's not about to die because I didn't follow the product. Yeah. Oh, let me go get the freaking wagon.
Yeah, like push her in the wagon to y'all to take her back out of it.
And wait until you come in.
Yeah.
Like, no. They should be checking on them anyway.
Right.
It was terrible, actually.
Oh my God. It was bad. Horrible.
It was bad.
That just gave me like...
Yeah, girl, that made me mad.
Yeah.
And that's why, because, you know, I've been applying to try to work at a hospital for so long. It's been like 2 years. And I'm like, they hire people like this.
Yeah, and I want to make a difference so this shouldn't happen to people. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's insane.
That's terrible. Yes. Like, I could never, like... I thought my birth story was bad, girl. Like, you got me beat, girl. Girl, that just gave me chills. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, mine was kind of traumatic in its own sense, but nothing like that. Like, no.
No, yours
And
was
I
probably
feel
traumatic
like
as well. Just go ahead.
but that's crazy. Okay, so I feel like I honestly did a lot. I wanted him to come. Jason was born February 19th. I
Okay.
wanted him to come before March. His original due date was like March 2nd. And I was like, no, I want you to come in February. Because his dad's birthday is February 15th. And we had this whole little, he's going to come on your birthday thing. And I was like, no, not that day. You're going to come sometime between his birthday and March. So, like, I was drinking raspberry leaf tea. We walked one time my whole pregnancy. But that raspberry leaf tea did it. Yeah, no, it did it. Like, I drank 1 cup that Friday. I went into labor Saturday night.
What did it taste like?
It was terrible. It was off. God,
it's funny because I
awful.
have some in my cabinet.
It's terrible though. Like, but they said it works for like your cycle and everything.
Yeah,
but-
I know. That's why I got it.
Yeah, for real, girl.
What did you put in it? I mean, what could you put in it to make it better?
I honestly just did honey. Yeah, no, yeah. I just did honey. I could have did, yeah. I was a trooper because it tastes like turtle water. Like
Turtle water.
you know how turtle
Why
water
do you know
smells?
what turtle?
You know how it smells like bad. It tastes like how turtle water smells. That's all I'll say. But it's really bad. But it worked clearly. I was supposed to go to one of my coworkers' wedding, and I wanted to go super bad, and Malik was like, "I'm not going to wedding." So then we were supposed to go get ice cream that night, and he fell asleep. So I was mad, and I'm like, "I'm just gonna lay down and watch a movie." He's like, "Okay, cool, whatever." So later on that night, like I still had an attitude, and I was texting him, and I'm like, "Well, I think I'm having contractions." My doctor, again, they don't. That yeah, he was
for your
telling me-
doctor.
No, okay,
Maybe once I've heard that.
yeah, I heard very good reviews about him. That's why I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna use him. He was like, well, you'll know if your water breaks and your contractions are 5 to 7 minutes apart. So I'm a first time mom. That's what I'm looking for. And I was like, okay, cool. But then like my water never broke and my contractions were like a minute and a half apart. So it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, oh, this really hurts. So I called my sister because my sister's a nurse. And I'm like, hey, they told me wait till my water breaks, but should I go to the hospital? She's like, Ashley, yeah. Like, yeah, go. So we go, and Malik was actually about to go to Auburn. Craziest part. He's like, you just didn't want me to go. I'm like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, for real. Yeah. So we get to the hospital, like, I check in right at midnight. And I get there, and I'm already like 5 centimeters. Because when I went to my last appointment at like 37 weeks, I was like 2.5. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm still thinking like, so I had already dilated.
I don't even
And
know what that feels like.
girl, it wasn't good. It felt terrible. And but see, my doctor had told me that I would be able to be induced that Tuesday because that was my next appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And the baby came on Sunday. But so I got there, I was 5 centimeters, and I'm like, before y'all take me out of this triage room, get my epidural ready because I'm not doing this. This hurts. Yeah. So by the time I got to labor delivery, there was already like the anesthesiologist was like right there. He was like, all right, come on, lean forward. It's contraction. We're going to do it. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't think like, I feel like I wasn't that bad, but my mom was like, Ashley, you were so mean. You were so mean. The nurse tried to everybody. Like the nurse, she was trying to check me and I was like, don't touch me. Get your hands off me. And I literally, he was so like, he didn't know what to do, but he was so like trying to be helpful. So he was like rubbing my back and stuff. And I was just so irritated at this point. I was like, I'm finna throw up. He had got all over his shoes, girl. It was his favorite pair of shoes. And he just looked, he's like, it's okay. Yeah, I was like, Jason's gift to you. Yeah. But honestly, I wasn't in labor that long. They were like, this is crazy for a first time mom. Like, you were in labor for like a few hours. Had Jason at 5:50 that morning. And I was watching Law and Order. Didn't even know like he was coming out. Really, that's how they actually right. My epidural was too good, and it was too good. Like I didn't feel anything. They're like, Ashley, you don't feel nothing, no pressure, nothing. I was like, no, I'm literally watching Law and Order, and they were like, the baby's head is right here, and I'm like, oh, for real? Let me see. I'm like, he comes out, and I feel like because the epidural was so good, that started the whole problem. Like I had this whole plan. I was like, I want to do skin to skin, delayed cord clamping, all of this stuff. None of that happened. I didn't. The baby, when he came out, his temperature was too low. So they took him and, warmed him up and everything. And at that point, like, I don't really remember much of all of that. But everybody else, they were working on the baby, everybody was working on me, and it was just kind of like chaotic. And then the baby, they brought him over there to me, and then after that, like, I started passing out like crazy. Like, it was terrible because I didn't get that skin to skin. I didn't get any of that stuff. They took the baby, and then it was like, oh, okay, we're gonna not focus on the baby. I'm like, but I want to see the baby, like, I didn't hold him. And after that, like, the whole first day that I had the baby, I didn't see him. Like, I ended up going to ICU because I was passing out. They thought I was having seizures. They didn't know what was wrong with me. And it was just like, dude. And my whole thing was like they couldn't even transfer me to the postpartum room because I couldn't get out of bed because I was passing out. Nobody knew what was wrong. And it was just like a whole crazy mess because, get this, the doctor who I had my whole pregnancy didn't deliver the baby because he was not on call that night. So yeah, he didn't show up. The nurse actually, my water broke. Well, they broke my water. The nurse actually was like, hey, the baby's about to come out. They're trying to call the doctor, and he's like, oh, it's okay. It's first time, baby. He ain't coming that soon. And she was like, no, he's coming. Like, literally everything's right there, but you're just not here. And he got there and got the baby out and stuff. But crazy part was, like, it was, I think, like around 8 o'clock or whatever. That's when I, like, was in the gist of the passing out, and like, they just couldn't get me to do anything. Yeah, they were like, Ashley, say your ABCs, and I'm like, A, B, and pass out. Like, it was crazy. And so they moved me to ICU because at first, like I said, they thought I was having seizures, but I actually wasn't. It was just I was passing out. So it determined that I actually had POTS syndrome. And so that was the whole cause of me passing out and everything.
What does POTS stand for?
So it stands for post-orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So it's basically like you will pass out if your heart rate gets either too high or too low, and your blood pressure is like the opposite. So yeah, and the epidural made my blood pressure super low, so it kind of made my heart rate go up super fast. And yeah, it was crazy. And the crazy part was nobody knew what it was until I actually got discharged from the hospital. Like, they sent me home like that. Yeah.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah, no, they really did. They absolutely sent me home like that. They were like, okay, she's up for now, so she's good to go. Like, no, like, I'm still, yeah. And girl, I'm telling you, like, that healthcare system is terrible these days. It's really bad. But yeah, my baby was fine. He was like just looking for me. So, like, the first night, Malik and my mom stayed in the room with the baby. They were in the postpartum room, and I'm like, hey, I'll get to stay here. Yeah, they brought the baby down to the ICU.
Who slept in the bed?
Girl, probably Malik. I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I feel like that night nobody slept. Like, I slept because I couldn't stay up, but I don't think nobody else slept. But
is that categorized as sleeping?
Girl, honestly, you know what? It probably isn't because I don't remember it. So I don't think it was. Like, I was still pretty tired when I got up there. The next day, I was up. My doctor comes in. He's like, girl, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. He's like, well, I didn't deliver the baby, so I don't know what happened. They was just telling me, how'd you end up down here? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just had a kid, so I don't know what happened. Like, yeah, it was, yeah. But, I mean, I feel like a lot of it, yeah, girl, tell me about it. All them degrees, and this is what we get, for real. But I feel like...
They need more of us.
No, for real.
More of us and more of us.
It's for real. Like, that made my whole mindset towards healthcare change, for real, because I was like, I don't trust y'all no more. Like, y'all didn't care. Like,
no, seriously.
Because I feel like a lot of us die because they don't listen to us. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And girl, wait, let me go back to, like you said, after, you have the baby and stuff, when they're pushing your stomach?
Yeah.
That's the worst pain ever. And they thought that I was hemorrhaging. So they took that tube that they used to, like, check you and get the baby out and all that. They stuck that back in after I had the baby to make sure that I wasn't, like, bleeding. Girl, when I tell you that epidural had wore off by then, I was like, oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like that kind of made me not want more kids.
You're kind of making me want to work as a nurse.
I'm telling you, like, it makes me want to, to be, like, an advocate for us because it's like...
Honestly, like, I've kind of considered being an OBGYN.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that really kind of stops me is that it would take a long time, I'll be like 40.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, how many people can you help 40, like a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, and I also think like a lot of them just like, oh, well, this is a routine and we do this all the time.
It's just a
But
woman.
yeah.
You gotta have a baby. What are you crying
Right.
for?
What's your
See you
issue?
tomorrow.
I'm like, no, this is a real thing. Like everybody's different. Like everybody's
Literally.
yeah. Nobody goes into giving birth thinking that like, oh,
Even
I
if
could die
it
doing
seems the
this.
same, it's probably not.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the same. Like just like you said, like you had a totally different birth from your first child to your second. Like
Absolutely.
and you don't expect that. You're like, okay, well, from what I see, you know, on TV or what people tell me that have kids, oh, it's easy, you know, you're gonna be in pain, but then when it's over, it's over.
Even with the C-section though, like you have to stand up the next day.
Yeah.
And like it's cool because you feel like a bionic, like you know, you feel like a superhero and stuff. But in reality, like if you really think about it, we just should not have to work after that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's such a hard thing.
Yeah.
And I know that we have to, and I know that there are people that want to.
Yeah.
But it should not have to be a have to.
Absolutely. Because like, I mean, I feel like even with like, I just don't think that the standard of care is where it needs to be as far as like, I had to, you know, how you're supposed to go to the bathroom. You're supposed to do all these things before you leave. I didn't do any of that.
Me neither.
Like
they didn't even give me pads.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
I had to ask.
That's ridiculous.
Multiple times. Yeah. And then they didn't even give me lanolin.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get one.
Girl, me either. I was like, and like I breastfed.
And you actually did.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I wish you would have told me because once I got it, I had a lot.
Yeah. So, girl, I mean, that's a whole different story. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they just didn't try to accommodate that fear that you're gonna have having your child, whether it's your first or your fifth. Like it's scary every time, and it was crazy.
It makes me wonder like, if it's possible or if they have room. Because, you know, someone comes in there trying to take your blood.
Yeah.
Someone comes in there trying to take your placenta.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if somehow there could be something set up to where, like, a therapist comes around and says, like, are you okay with me talking to you for a second?
Right. You know? Yeah.
And this doesn't even have to be anything extensive. You don't have to be depressed.
Yeah.
It could literally be like, how are you feeling?
Yeah. How did that?
Are they treating you right?
Absolutely. Because I mean, they have those. The person comes, oh, we're gonna teach you how to breastfeed. You want to breastfeed or feed the baby? Okay, well, what about me? Like, do you care how I feel? Do you care?
Like I literally have to go to work next week.
Yeah, like I literally just pushed a human being out of my body.
They act like that's not.
Like it's not a big deal.
We need to have an episode on that.
Yeah.
Like I could talk
absolutely
about the importance of women and like what we really are. And what people are trying to hide. I sound crazy to some people that don't get it, but like
it's a real thing. Like
the fact we have babies is insane.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It really changes you.
No, honestly.
I actually just asked. I have a cousin. Her name is Darnisha. Shout out Darnisha. I think her son is like 7. Mm-hmm. She had 2. One is like 9 and one is 7. And I saw her last Saturday and I was like, do you feel like yourself yet? And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but like, we really don't know when postpartum is over. Yeah. It's just been researched by
people,
by a lot of men.
Yeah.
That decide 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, okay, after the 6 weeks, your body is normal.
You should go to work before that too.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like put the baby in daycare and go about your business.
Have you heard of a chimera? I wanted to look it up before this so I could talk about it.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it says that like it's a term for you completely becoming a different person. Yeah. They say that after pregnancy, a woman is literally a chimera. Mm-hmm. So an example of that is some women say, I had dead straight hair before I was pregnant. Yeah. And all of a sudden my roots are so curly and now I have curly hair. Yeah. Or my feet are bigger. My nose is literally bigger. Yeah. Like your DNA literally changes because there's so much trauma. Yeah. There's so much, like there's just so much to it. Yeah. And then we don't understand hormones. I don't care who says we do. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a while until we completely do. Yeah. That's why I want to go into research so bad.
So we can know like this is.
Or at least we can, help more people know.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I think like most of us have this mindset as females, just in general, like from a kid, you're taught to be a mom if you're a girl. Mm-hmm. Let's just be honest. You get baby dolls, you raise your younger siblings, younger cousins, all that. You're equipped to be a mom at some point in your life. Yeah. So we don't think about all the things that change you as a person when you become a mom, but nobody really knows, like, because everybody's
Literally,
different. It's
nobody
like nobody
knows.
knows. Yeah. So it's like they say like this is, ever changing world, but no, like motherhood,
Women?
girl.
Just women, like
It's crazy
it's
to be a woman these days.
crazy.
Like
It's crazy to be a woman
any
any
day,
day.
yeah,
Like,
but especially the days where you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be a mom. No,
it's never that simple.
it's not.
It's not.
I would say like 7 out of 10 out of recommendations to come to mom. Like,
Yeah.
I love my baby to death,
No,
but
yeah.
the changes in like you don't. I say like, oh well, you'll get back to yourself after something, but you don't know what your new self
And then
is.
you
Like,
don't know how long that's gonna be
yeah,
either.
yeah. And then I think like there's this stipulation that is put on you that is like, okay, well, you have the baby's not new anymore, you should be back to normal. Like, no.
Get
Mm-mm.
to it, woman.
Yeah, it's like
No,
get
I
back to
agree.
yourself. No, I can't.
I
Like,
agree.
yeah.
And it's hard.
Those were our crazy birth stories. Let us know about yours. And if you like the content that you saw today, be sure to subscribe and tune into our channel. Until then, grab your mommy juice and we'll see you next time.